Hello again and welcome back. Here we're going to continue our discussion of React, and then the current topic is working with forms in React and the controlled component pattern. So far we've created an input here. In the future we're going to make this weather app. It's going to go grab some weather data from an API, but right now let's set up the user interface, right? So far we've got the input working. What if we had another form element? So for example, what if I have the submit here, but what if I also had a select? So a select is oops, I forgot the arrows there. A select is a menu, right? So it works like this. You create a select element and then you add some options to it, right? So I'll add an option here. And maybe I'm going to do metric and imperial and standard. Those are our three choices for temperature, right? So this is my menu right here. The bummer with the menu is you really can't style this. Like this element, the browser doesn't let you style it. It's very limited to what you can do with style. So we're going to have to just leave it like this for now. There's a little bit you can do, but there's not a lot. So that looks pretty good. Might be nicer, like what if we put it underneath here, right? But the select is basically the select tag, and then it has a list of options, and each option represents one of the menu items, okay? And every option can have a value also. And the value is the value that the form collects when you choose this option. So if you don't have the value here, then the value is the text that you have. So the value would be metric for us right now, right? But if I, Celsius, is that, let me spell that right, Celsius, right? If I did Celsius here, but I wanted the value to be metric, then I could say value equals metric, right? And imperial, like if I wanted to do Fahrenheit, right? Is that right? Okay. And then, the value might need to be imperial, right? Then I could do this, right? So I could have a different value. Maybe for standard is actually in Kelvin is the unit, right? So the value, though, could be standard, right? So we can have a value here too, right? So again, if we wanted to use this select menu with the React controlled component pattern, what we would need to do is add a state variable to keep track of which value was currently selected. So I'm going to do this here. I'm going to make a variable called unit with a setter called setUnit. And you can put anything you want in here for the current value. Maybe I'll just leave it blank for now, okay? And what I want to do here is on the select, I'm going to use it on change in the same way that I used it here for the input. So we'll say on change equals, and then we'll get our event object, and we'll make a function, and our function we'll call setUnit. And the new value will be e.target.value. Okay? So let me save that and refresh this here, right? And so if I choose this, actually let's show, we can't really see that it's changing, right? So let's show it. So maybe up here where I'm showing the zip code, let's also follow that with the unit, right? So unit is currently imperial. And if I choose Kelvin, then the unit is standard, right? Because it's going to get the value here, right? If I choose Celsius, it's going to be 94210 metric, okay? So again, we follow the same pattern, right? So we use on change, and then we set the value of our state variable to the value that was set on the target element. So E, again, is the event object. Target is the DOM element that just changed, and then for form elements, the value is what you input or what you set on that form element. So for the input field, it's what you typed into the field. For the select element, it's the currently selected, it's the value of the currently selected option, let's say. Okay. Okay. Maybe let's do one more thing just while we're here for fun. So I kind of like this, but I want to move this menu like underneath here, right? I think it'd look better there. So let's give that a try, right? So currently we have a form element with 2 children. So we can use Flexbox to arrange these, or actually we have 3 children because we have the button, right? But I don't want to stack the button underneath here, right? So if I stack these guys vertically, I guess I have 4 children because I also, oh no, I guess this one's outside. So just inside the form, I have 1, 2, and 3 children. So what I'll want to do is I'll want to combine these 2 together so they can be in a row, and then this whole group and the select will be the next, will be the 2 children, right? So let's wrap these inputs in a tag, right? Now that's actually going to screw up my styles a little bit because I said in my style sheet that the input and the button were a child of the form, but they're no longer a child of the form because they're inside this div, right? So those styles go away, right? So let's fix it now. So I'm going to go up here, and then maybe instead of using the little arrow there, I'll say that this is a descendant of the form, right? The other thing you could do, I could do that here on the button and then it would come back. The other thing we could do is we could say child div, child button, right? And that would also work, right? Maybe I'll do it this way. It looks a little simpler, right? And then now we've got this guy underneath here, and that's kind of looking a little better. Maybe it needs a little bit of margin though. Let's give it like a little bit of margin. So maybe we'll do this. We'll say whether child select, let's do margin of 1 rem, okay? Oh yeah, I forgot because it's inside the form, so I gotta do form like this. Oh, there we go. So that doesn't look too bad, but I don't like it pushed out, right? I want to align it with this edge, right? So 1 rem puts a rem of margin on all 4 sides, but if we use the 4 numbers here, this would be the top, right, bottom, and left. So what I think I'll do is I'll set, and if you do 2 numbers like this, the first number is the top and bottom. So I'll do 1 rem on the top and bottom and 0 margin on the left and right. So that doesn't look too bad there, right? I think that looks all right. So let's hold on that, and then we'll continue in the next video, okay? And again, thanks for watching.